Hello and welcome to the Lighthouse. This is going to be the October reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mars. Now, even though I didn't mention it, I've only done one sign so far. But I noticed that I didn't really do anything involving romantic things per se. I mean, although it can come up in this area here. So, I think I'm going to, make the announcement for every sign that I do afterwards, that I might do something separate for the signs just in regards to a potential relationship or something focused around romantic things particularly. I kind of do that with the soulmate, say it with a song, and with the midnight dedications. But I'll try to think of something else that is along that lines to include for the monthlies or make it a bi-weekly thing. See how it goes. So after I've done this spiel now, kind of let you know. So that's why, if you don't see anything particularly romantic in this, it doesn't mean that you won't get something along those lines in the near future. So let us start off with the thing for the month is by the book. Having to understand there is a succession to things, following, and as it's an 11, of course 11 is the strength card. I mean, not the strength card. Is it? No. Well, it is. What am I saying? See? La Force. It's a strength card. Overcoming le diable. I was looking for him in here. Look at this guy. What's up with his neck? These pictures are kind of funny. That's what I got. But I don't know why I'm focusing on this. Why do I feel like it's isn't it supposed to be 8? Why am I thinking 8? 8 being strength. Why am I focusing on this now? Justice is 8 here. That's not right. Is it? I need to look. I don't know what, I need to look, because again, but regardless, 11 could be dealing with twin flame situations, because I know many people are. Of course, the whole 11-11 thing here, and understanding again, especially in those kind of situations, that there is an order to things, divine timing and such. What's going to drive me nuts now? Like when you can't remember the name of a song or you can't remember a word, I'm going to have to look, because again, every deck, I don't know if they change things in every deck, but why does that seem... Essential meanings: abide by social rules, conformity, respecting cultural or family customs, and universal laws. The oracle's message: the universe works within a structure of divine laws and principles that provide the framework for human experience and evolution. The law of abundance, the law of prayer, the law of karma, the law of attraction, the law of thought, the law of compensation, and the law of nature are only a few that are known. These principles create perfect order and operate with a kind of precision beyond human understanding. Even revolution has its place in universal law. Human beings, in turn, have their own laws and customs that vary from culture to culture and family to family. Laws keep social order and govern behavior, reflecting an instinctive understanding that harmony is important. This is a time to learn these laws and conform to them rather than being the rebel and flouting them. When this card appears, submit to structure and follow the rules even if they seem to make no sense. Release resistance, for universal laws will correct any disharmony. Open your eyes to those universal laws, and it will be easier to go by the book at this time. This is not, of course, dealing with, tyrannical things going on in society. This is within one's own, understanding again about divine timing and how karma works and law of attraction, these kinds of things, law of prayer, everything I said. And don't confuse with the whole, do as you're told. That's not what I'm talking about. Now, relationship message. Getting along with others entails understanding and respecting who they have become as a result of their environment, culture, and experience. Find the middle ground that allows the relationship to flourish while honoring the individuality of the other person. Play things by the book instead of trying to break the rules or pressure others to conform to the way you want. Conform? Oh, wait. Play things by the book instead of trying to break the rules or pressure others to conform to the way you want to do them. Want to do what? The rules? Did they mess up there? Or is it just me? Your connection will deepen as a result. Prosperity message. At this time, you can expect a return on your investment, whatever you have pursued, be it a dream you've long cherished, a skill you've cultivated, or a service you're called to, will come to you if you're willing to go by the book. You don't need to reinvent the wheel to be successful. Follow in the footsteps of others who have already achieved the things you're striving for. You can learn a lot by observing the structures that are already working. Your creative projects and commitment to prosperity are in alignment with the needs of the world. But impatience may tempt you to cut corners to get there more quickly. Stick with what you know works and you will attract abundance. Sorry if I seem like my vision is not so swift. Protection message. Now is the time for a real change in consciousness as you are incited to revolt. Challenge the structures that are limiting authentic progress. It is not enough to rebel in small ways. This is a call to revolution. That's what I'm saying. Don't let this go with world events things. Focus on what you really want to achieve, regardless of whether it feels so far outside of the box that the established order may reject it. Genius, invention, and transformation are rarely comfortable and less likely to be accepted by the mainstream. It may be time for you to say no to the way of your group. Take a stand and make real changes. It could be that the structure of your inner world is alerting you to the need for a complete overhaul. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is hot. This is a time for transformation. So let go of the fear of change. Your intuition will lead you through the darkness. There's no turning back now. Trust the light will dawn. Epiphanies will surely lead to miracles. Indeed. Now, I also picked here some moon cards for you, telling you to work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is usually associated with the death card, right? Transformation. Out with the old, in with the new. Rebirths. Cycles. Closing. And one's hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn, perhaps North Node Capricorn. We're heading into our destiny. And your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon. So again, Hold the course. We mustn't let fear and insecurity. Yeah. Look at this little dude. Oh, there's this one here. It's like, yes. Close your hearts. Close your hearts and never let anyone in. We must. That's what he says. He reminds me of that song by Bjork, Unravel, talking about how the devil collects the love between this person and the person they love. That's why I was thinking of the 11. I thought of twin flame, right? And the devil's trying to keep them apart, trying to keep fear in their hearts, fear in your heart, or keeping you from your destiny, or feeding into those insecurities, right? Of perhaps unrequited love, fear that it will never be returned. This is the karma. So again, this deals with past life stuff, right? I'm going to read from the book on this. First, let us do insecurity. This is the first chakra. Okay, base chakra. First chakra. It's our rooting. It's our security. It's our stability. It's our grounding. And if that is off, then we are off. The greatest adversary is the one living inside me. Demon Red Rainbow. Is that supposed to be his name? Red Rainbow? Is that supposed to be his, his aura? Red Rainbow. Yeah, he's kind of funny. I don't know what he's got. One leg, and one leg is getting to tickle this person's heart, but he's got no feet. It's just a swirly thing. It's kind of funny. Let's read the little story. I don't usually read the stories because sometimes they don't make any sense. But let's read anyway. The legend, Bob is an inventor, yet never finishes anything, always giving up on his projects, convinced they are useless. Classic. One day he finishes something and is elated, until a demon appears, taunting him. The demon Red Rainbow is comprised of our greatest fears. In a dream, Bob discovers that he can distinguish between real and imagined fears. The demon Red Rainbow can no longer stop him from realizing his dreams. So whenever you start to get feeling scared, imagine this little dude. And maybe quickly the fears will dissipate if you picture him doing this with his little foot. I'm like, look, I'm not down for playing footsie with you there. You know what I'm saying? Unrequited love. Oh, wait, I didn't even finish. Lord. I got too into my thing here. We only read the story. Inspiration message, miraculous changes lie ahead. Life always takes a turn for the better when we face our demons. Stay on course. Trust that. Sorry, I had a yawn. Trust that an ally will appear. The gift of adversity is never given without the ability to overcome it. So again, the gift of an ally will appear. Again, it makes me think that something is blowing in the wind. And perhaps that's why the little devil dude is at work. Or again, this involves creative projects. Things we start and don't finish because we just don't think it's going to be... Listen, I even have to get better with that in regards to setting aside certain times for certain things. Because if you focus all your time on one particular thing, you never get to it. So even if you split it where you do an hour, and an hour, and an hour, at least you got an hour of each one in. As opposed to you know, a bunch of hours here and maybe over on some side things that have nothing to even do with this thing over here, and nothing else over here gets finished. The prioritizing our time, getting a little schedule so that we can complete things, so that we can, you know, feel better. Personal inquiry. Do I listen to my fear? How can I tap into my courage? Key ideas: being courageous, facing adversity, finding tremendous power within, undervaluing your contribution. Keywords are freedom, bravery, and success. Now we get to this person. Listen, and if this isn't the shittiest feeling, I don't know what it is. Listen. It's like a death. Again, you know, sometimes these are situations that are nipped in the bud quick, and sometimes they can drag on for years. And it can end in a very ugly way, to the point of one's own destruction. But alas, all is a lesson we are meant to learn in regards to self-love, even. Right? Will not be the beggar. This card indicates that you had a painful experience with unrequited love in a prior lifetime. The person you loved deeply didn't share your feelings, or you may have been betrayed or abandoned. This individual may be in your present life. Oh, yes. These experiences of unrequited love may be negatively affecting you now. For example, you might distrust your lover's intentions or his or her ability to make a monogamous commitment. Sometimes those doubts have a basis in current reality. That means, you know, stuff that they're doing. They've already been on some shady stuff, or you've just been dealing with shady people in general. You can, you know, just the trust is not there. However, romantic insecurities can also be a product of prior lifetimes. When that occurs, the unconscious insecurities are difficult to pinpoint or heal unless they're consciously realized. This is where irrational jealousy and neediness may actually ruin an otherwise good relationship. Sometimes the best cure is past life regression for couples, so that you can both remember the situation that caused you pain in other lifetimes. So, of course, when you're dealing with people that you've shared past lifetimes with. I know of mine, and let me tell you, like I said, as I mentioned in the other reading, Virgos it was actually, because they had the Celtic card. And for me, both of that, the Celtic and this, falls in the same lifetime. So I often get this card too. And again, and are the people playing the roles to a degree in this life too? Yep, same people from then. This is what I mean. There's something to this stuff for sure. So they say shit is real. Look at this little kitty. Unique. Meet Helix. He was always a little different from the other kitties, right? At first, he felt lonely and alienated. He even considered trying to blend in to be accepted by other cats. But this could never give him the joy that being embraced as his true self would. So he took a risk and met people's gazes as himself. He saw that his uniqueness was his beauty, his spark. He alone could twinkle the way only he can. Miraculously, many kitties around him threw off their normal disguises and began to sparkle in their own way too. Their world became dazzling, diverse. So embrace the freak within. What? The freak within? Hold on, eh? And remember, outsiders are in. That's unique. Right? So let your Look, they got one eye. They got one eye drawn up and the other eye is not. Again, this is a very unique cat. Oh, look at this. Majesty. Royal in their own right. Royal in their uniqueness. So fear not. Don't let little devil dudes tickle your heart with their feet. Because it's only your commitment being tested. Meet Majesty. She lives inside each one of us. She is the queen of the vulnerable heart, the yearning soul, and the seeking mind. She helps us see our majesty, helps us to honor our gifts, hone our skills, and be true to our word. Let us not diminish ourselves with endless self-criticism and self-negation. We must wear our crown of light and love with confidence, grace, and generosity of spirit. We all have something to teach and share with our fellows. Cultivate kindness and respect towards yourself so that your gifts may flourish and be shared freely with those around you. Again, honor thyself. You know? And the word says, in a world where you can be anyone, be yourself. Everybody else is taken. Most are faking to boot. So forget about it. Some positive affirmations here. Beyond resistance, I find my own bliss. I am pure within and honor my own truths. I trust and believe in the angelic realms. Oh, most definitely. I love and honor the earth of which I am part. I am aware that love is a state of being, not an intellectual process. This is for the head over heart battles. Love is a constant, universal, dynamic energy flowing into and through you at all times. I am much greater than my body or brain. You're not merely your physical self. You existed before you came into your physical body, and you will exist after you leave. So this is people feeling a bit trapped in the vessel, because the vessel is given problems. Look, God has it in for me. The universe doesn't hear my voice. This is healing sadness. In partnership with the universe, I move through my emotional conflicts and find a peaceful resolution. Another healing sadness. Even if I speak my mind, it never changes anything, so why bother? Look, you know, a lot of times too, you gotta learn what's worth even saying, because a lot of times it isn't even worth it. Now that's true power, knowing when to not say nothing at all. Not because, you know, you feel like it's not going to change anything. It's again, sometimes it doesn't change anything. Especially when you're dealing with people online or anything. So sometimes you got to let people be whatever. And, you know, pick your battles, as they say, or know when to speak and when not to speak. And what we're talking about, make sure we know what we're talking about when we talk about it. Of course, don't stifle yourself because of anybody else. But again, sometimes it's the silence. The silence is golden, I tell you. I now effectively communicate the clarity in my mind to everyone around me. So again, if this is about speaking up or standing up for yourself, of course. But I'm talking about just in general. Sometimes things don't even warrant a response because it's just so. What was the saying? Don't argue with idiots because they'll have you stoop to their level and they'll beat you with experience. These kind of things. Healing sadness. I feel empty and alone unless I'm with someone. I love and honor both the times I am alone as well as the times I have loving support. Being by oneself sometimes is difficult for people. You know, that's a lot of dependency, abandonment issues, these kind of things. You know, it's causes people to jump from relationship to relationship before they've healed themselves or had time to reflect on possible patterns again to see how can we not repeat certain things. This takes time. But, and usually, the time that you come into the awareness of all these things is when you're alone. So that's why it's always good to, get to know thyself. Take these alone times as an opportunity again to figure some things out that perhaps we need to. Healthy joy. If my friends or loved ones are unhappy, I do my best to make them more cheerful. If my loved ones are in pain, I do not try to smother them with love, trying to make them happy. I can support them and allow them space to experience their feelings. This is again when we, you gotta let it breathe. All you can do is let people know that you're there, but allow people the space to whatever. Don't feel like you got to fix it all. Don't feel like everything has to move at your pace. Don't feel like, because again, everybody's got to go through their own process. You have to allow people the space to go through their own process. Because in the end, the only people that can truly change people's situations is themselves, right? So you can't be the fixer. You can't be the rescuer all the time. You can't be even the Florence Nightingale syndrome to again fill some kind of void within oneself. If you got people that are always like doing and giving and again trying to be, because that validates one's worth. Again, everybody's dysfunction, it happens in different ways. But regardless, again, knowing the difference between support and enable, right? Knowing that, again, you don't have to fix everything, but you can also be a support when need be. Healing fear. If I say how I feel, I'll lose love and respect. So this is, again, people with the whole stifling one's tongue, like I said. If there's something you got to say to speak up for yourself, don't be afraid to do it because, again, you have more respect for yourself when you don't compromise who you are out of fear of someone not liking that. Then you're not being authentic, you're not being you, and that's like walking on eggshells and having to wear a mask. No, I can be happy even if someone disagrees or disapproves of me. Exactly. Because as the saying goes, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. You should be able to speak your piece and be heard, and hopefully, there's an understanding there and adjustments are made and people move on and be everything's smooth. But if you're feeling all the time like you've got to hide things and put things down and play a role and be, that doesn't listen. That doesn't work. And anybody that would expect you to do that, to be the silent majority and not, well, that person isn't really, isn't for your highest and best. Countering all or nothing thoughts. This, of course, is the cognitive behavioral therapy here. Pay attention for times today when you're thinking in black or white terms, such as nothing is going my way. Consider whether the situation is actually that extreme. For example, how many things in reality actually are going the way you want them to. Practice seeing shades of gray in each experience. Yes. Angry shoulds. Anger towards others is often driven by the thought that they should behave differently. Example, this driver should be going faster. Often, though, these statements express wishes, not facts, about what the person has done wrong. Try stating your preferences. Example, I wish this driver would speed up. instead of accusing the person of wrongdoing. ah, that's that reverse psychology. If you say it in a different way, perhaps the message will still get across, even though you might be thinking, you know, this driver should be going faster. Instead of accusing the person, oh, we already did that. Notice any changes in your experience of anger. Be your own friend. When you make a mistake today, no matter how big or how small, treat yourself like somebody you love dearly. How would you respond if they did something similar? Notice how this response compares to your typical self-talk when you mess up, both in terms of what you say and how you say it. How does it feel to be friendlier towards yourself? Indeed. How many times do people shit-talk themselves a day? Probably too many times to count. Yeah? The little devil dude, again, is the critic in you. Always trying to be, you know, holding you down. But you have to tell him, go away. Worries resolved. Remind yourself today of times when you were fairly certain something would go badly and it actually turned out fine. For example, worry. We would run out of gas. Outcome. We made it to the gas station. Write down 5 examples like this. Recognize that today's worries are likely to be on your list the next time you draw this card. Or the next time I draw this card. Unless you bought the deck yourself. And allow your mind to focus on other things. This is the act. Do what matters. Write down your most important values. For example, perhaps you value serving others or sharing love with family. Now take a look at your schedule for the week. Do you spend a lot of your time on things you deeply care about? Or do urgent or trivial things crowd what's important? Find one way today to align your calendar with your values. I spoke about this earlier, about trying to create some kind of structure. It's tough because me as a Pisces, I like to just go with the flow, you know, but I understand that I benefit more from structure, which is where the Virgo comes in. You know, the Virgo is my opposite sign on the wheel. It's also my 7th house of partnerships. You know, I guess that's how I relate to people. Again, I like, you know, I like the idea of structure. But again, it's getting in the routines, right? But once you create them, you'll find yourself adapting over time. It just becomes automatic. It's just getting, you know, getting on the schedule, on the, you know what I'm trying to say. Make space to work. When you're having a hard time getting started on your project, make sure that your workspace is free of clutter. Remove unnecessary distractions that could pull you away from your task, like tempting browser windows or cell phone notifications. Create the mental and physical conditions in which you work best. See, this is again about creating some kind of a structure or a schedule, making that time be for that thing, and not getting distracted or look for things to do, because we can do that too. Again, that saboteur is forever lurking to take you away from things that perhaps could be your big win or your whatever, you know, your big success. But on a subconscious level, something prevents you from completing it or finishing it or something. And you may not think it's, you may think it's all innocent, it's all, but again, sometimes maybe it isn't. Maybe your greatness will be so much that the world will just don't know what to do with itself. So this little person tries to keep you and bad habits. Alternate work and breaks. Break up your work today into time blocks. Look, everything I'm saying. Oh my gosh. What's going on here? Everything I'm saying. It's like I've already said it before I get the car. This is, woo. Break your, Twilight Zone. Break up your work today into time blocks with periods of rest in between. For example, clean your house in 25-minute intervals with 5-minute breaks in between. Take longer breaks after 3 or 4 work intervals. Use a timer or an app. There are several available, and be sure to take your breaks. Notice any positive effects on your productivity and mood from working this way. Yeah, I'm telling you. Presence at the table. Just before you start eating one of your meals today, pause to feel your feet on the ground and your weight pressing into your chair. Look for a moment at anyone sharing the meal with you. Carefully notice the food in front of you, taking in its colors, textures, and aroma. As you pick up your utensil, feel its weight and contours in your hand. Enjoy this meal. You know, one of my spiritual teachers mentioned something like this to me as well. And they used the analogy of toast or the English muffin. You know, the English muffin usually has all those little nooks. That's what they're selling, the nooks and crannies, right? But the same concept. They were like, notice how the butter, when you put it on, or notice how when you're cooking it, right? And you push it on the thing, and you can start to smell the bread starting to toast, and the anticipation of it. And then when you take it out, it's nice and warm, and you put the butter on, and you see the butter melt into all the little crannies, and if you've got a little light on it, you know, you can see the glistening. I mean, they were really going in the description. Oh, and perhaps you put a little jam on it, and you notice the jam, how it smooths on and mixes with the butter, and you take that first bite, and it's so... And I said, geez, I'll never look at an English muffin the same way again. This is the idea of, you know, really being in the moment and appreciating the things that you normally take for granted or that you don't even notice. It brings a whole different experience to the experience. It makes you more appreciative of it. Like I said, you'll never look at an English muffin the same again. Notice the season. Be on the lookout today for markers of the current season. Notice how the sky looks, the feel and smell of the air, plants, trees, and flowers, and the angle of light. Perhaps the foods you're eating are typical of the season too. Use your awareness of the season to connect with the natural world. Of course, we're coming into fall. Fall is one of my favorite times of year. You know, I'm originally from the East Coast, so for me, you know, I miss that. I don't miss the winters, but I miss, you know, seeing more the changes of the leaves and these kinds of things. It is a nice time of year. It gets a little crisp at night, you know, the sweater, right? You wear a little sweater, you start to... Some people might have their fireplaces lit, you know, and you see the pumpkins out, and Halloween is like my favorite. Right? You wear the costumes. It's the best. Of course, you know, the snacks. We must watch out for the snacks, because that, of course, comes with everything, you know. Speaking of things melting and smelling good and all this, we must be careful not to indulge too much. But again, with fall, you know, the leaves go away and prepare for, you know, what's going to blossom in the spring. So I guess perhaps now is the time that we're kind of preparing for, well, maybe something's going to blossom in the spring. Waves of breath. Set a timer for 3 minutes and sit comfortably with your eyes closed. See yourself seated peacefully on a sandy beach. Feel the breath moving in and out like the ebb and flow of the waves on the shore. Treat each thought that appears in your mind like a bird that walks into view. Let the birds do what they like to do while you breathe with the waves. Again, I'm telling you just to Just chill out. Relax. And here we have, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts? Well, we got the sun, so you're optimistic, or you're trying to be. You know, we just can't fall into this. You know, again, we got to be still holding the view, holding the vision, still trying to find some kind of something. This might be, again, dealing with one's health. You're thinking about your health, getting healthier, right? What's going to make you happy? Because the sun, you know, it's about happiness, it's about joy, it's about healing, right? The dawn that follows the darkest night, right? It's the happiness of our inner spirit when you're in truth with your true self, which is where the unique and majesty comes in, right? Honoring who you are, where you've been, and where you want to go, right? Now, you know, of course, this speaks about, you know, success and radiance and abundance. And this is how you should be thinking of feeling. And we have 4 swords. So again, it's matching. It's matching. So you kind of, the advice in here is the same thing. Relax, heal, focus on oneself, appreciate oneself more and where you've been and in your journey. We'll focus on what's going to make you happy, right? Be committed to whatever changes you want to make for yourself. Allow healing to happen. These guys, you know, they're sitting around just talking. All the swords are laid out. And this is, of course, healing from pain, from 3 of Swords. Right? Allowing that process to happen. These guys are just maybe sharing war stories. Oh, you should see what I've been through. But this is good. It's encouraging the same thought process you're kind of already on. Right? This is what might be challenging or hindering you in any way. And this is High Priestess reversed. And this is, of course, you know, not using one's intuition. Doubting oneself. Again, insecurity. Letting fears and things override, you know, what actually is in the moment. Right? This is also hidden agendas. So again, there might be outside things that, again, like I said, little devils trying to infiltrate and keep one from. So we got to consider these things. That's why we got to be on it. We got to be on it mentally. We got to be on top of it. We got to, again, weed out what is real and what is imaginary. And not allowing anything to hold us back from our abundance, our glowing up of oneself, our healing, right? So again, we need to be careful that we don't allow things to come in to create doubt, right? This is, again, ignoring truths. Don't ignore truths. Right? This also can speak about gossip. So, right? So this could be, again, what I spoke about earlier about knowing what's worth commenting on and what's not. Choosing one's words wisely. Using one's intuition, again, in regards to when one should speak and when one should not even bother. What's the that's the true, like I said, that's where true wisdom comes in. Knowing when to not say something. Knowing when to hold back. Because again, too much running off at the mouth can lead to all kinds of problems. So again, you better be with it. You know what I'm saying? Ace of Pentacles. This is how to move beyond this. Again, be grounded. And know that, again, a big opportunity is perhaps on its way in for us. But again, we must know when to hold back on certain things we know about, perhaps. And that will help for this seed to grow big. This is a pentacle like I've never seen one. This is a pinnacle of all pinnacles. This thing is glowing like I don't know what. Right? And this, of course, can speak about marriages, commitments, things that are long term. It's like a stable offer, a stable beginning of something. It's the, it's from the universe. The aces are always gifts from the universe, right? The page is us taking that pentacle somewhere, but this is from the universe. And I said a lot of divine timing things happening. This is why we can't let, and again, for some people it is twin flame connections coming back. Where again, we have this past life karma issue before. And perhaps it played out in this role too, to a degree. And there are reasons for it. Right? But everything is happening, we got to just chill out and allow this opportunity to come in. Right? Allow whatever painful things that happened in the past to go. Allow for healing to happen. Feel good about yourself. Work on things you want to change. Get your schedule and stuff going for yourself where you feel more productive. You use your time more better. Finish your projects. Right? And something, a gift from the universe, I think, is going to be coming in for you if you just hold the course, as they say. And I think that this is it. I think this is it. I don't remember. This is terrible. But if it's not it, don't tell anybody else. I mean, if it's supposed to be it, don't tell anyone else. I'm going to give you a few extra. I don't remember if I did this for Virgo. I have to look. If I didn't do it, I won't do it for the rest. But I'll do it for you special because you're a Pisces like me. And we're always last. But you know what they say? They save the best for last. I'm not limited by any past thinking. I choose my thoughts with care. I constantly have new insights and new ways of looking at my world. I'm willing to change and grow. Sorry, I read the back before the front. It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. Again, watch our thoughts. Watch those thoughts. I am willing to let go. I release others to experience whatever is meaningful to them, and I am free to create that which is meaningful to me. Yeah, that's what I said. Some things, sometimes you just gotta let people do themselves. And be willing to let go of the need to try to control the hows, whens, whys, or whats. Again, serenity prayer. Focus on yourself, because it's hard enough trying to change our own stuff, let alone trying to dictate the speed to which other people should be. I'm flexible and flowing. See what I just said? I'm open to the new and changing. Every moment present. Oh, every moment presents a wonderful and new opportunity to become more of who I am. I flow with life easily and effectively. Let's grab you a cup of these. Do things in your own time. That's what I said, but sometimes this comes again with healing. I see a heart here with some teardrops. Looks like, healing perhaps took a while. But now we must get going. Open your heart to possibility. Exactly. Now's the time to open up and embrace the new, because you are loved. Or love might be coming in. Again, could be a love offer, marriage, commitment, whatever it is. It's a gift from the universe, and it's meant to be long term. And it's going to be a good investment if you invest in yourself. And what about the inner child for Pisces? Any messages for the inner child for Pisces? I'm always polite. I'm going to open the door for someone today. So this is, again, perhaps commenting on your nice disposition. I am good at making friends. I'm going to introduce myself to someone new today. So this is, again, about being open to new people and situations and not letting fear keep us back. I am patient. I'm going to practice taking 3 deep breaths so I can do this the next time I get frustrated. So again, whatever we've been feeling like about timing is not whatever. Again, maybe it is just about chilling out, being patient, allowing for, the thing to cook. And I think that's it, because we'll do a love section in a different reading. And until next time, good luck, Pisces, and we'll see you again in the next reading. Take care.